Welcome back to County Connection. I'm Jason Gray, and I'm sitting down with Stuart Burnham, who is the new fire marshal, or about to be the new fire marshal.
Yes.
Correct? From the fire department. So we've never really had the fire department on County Connection before, so it's really good to have you here.
Yeah, we thought that it was a good opportunity to be able to share important information and just the messages and topics that are going on around the county and important for us.
All right. And you had a couple of topics you wanted to discuss today. I think you mentioned the burn ban.
Yeah, so to get started, I wanted to introduce myself as the new fire marshal. I'm Stuart Burnham, and I've been here since just the end of May, and grew up in Wyoming my whole life, and we had the opportunity, my family and I have 2 kids and a wife. We decided to move up here and call Campbell County our home.
Right.
So we're excited about that, and I spent 8 years as a firefighter in Rock Springs before.
Sure.
And during my time there, worked on getting a bachelor's degree in fire and emergency management, and just looking forward to helping serve Campbell County as the fire marshal. Some of the specific job duties within that realm are fire plans examiner and fire investigator and annual performing business inspections. And so you kind of get the beginning, middle, and the end sometimes. And there's important roles in each category of those, and we're here to help explain some of those and just advertise our services.
All right.
Yeah, and with the introduction of myself, I'd also like to share a little bit about the fire department. First, our mission statement, it's to provide excellence in all interactions through professionalism. And it's a broad mission statement, but the responsibilities and the things that the fire department are asked to do are varying greatly. And you just never know what those calls coming in might involve in services. And to go along with that, our vision, the Campbell County Fire Department will provide professional emergency services through education and training while adhering to the highest levels of safety, integrity, and superior customer service. And the last part of that, the customer service segment, that's probably our most important focus, is making sure that we're meeting those expectations that the public has for us. And additionally, the fire prevention division specifically, I touched on it a little bit with fire plans examining. Those are more like construction documents and what's going on when people are developing.
Oh, sure.
And we're usually in that process involved with the county and the city, just making sure that those projects are meeting expectations up front. And the inspections, they're not just business inspections. We cover a lot of different things, daycare inspections, respite care inspections, and food truck inspections.
Oh, really?
So there's a wide varying, and with the inspections of the documents at the beginning, there's also inspections at the end when buildings are completed, as far as making sure that everything is in place safety-wise, and sprinkler systems are correct, and fire alarm systems are functioning properly. So again, we cover a lot of information.
Making sure that they've got a plan in place for if there's a fire. This is how we're going to get people out. This is where you need to go if there's a fire. Setting up for fire drills and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of different ways that emergency services tries to help protect the community. Obviously, the most visible one is emergency response, when something has gone bad and we want to go there and support operations and make sure we bring the incident within control and we can safely end it. The fire plans examining part, that's more focused on the engineering. Although we're not designing the buildings, we're just checking to make sure that the standards that are in place have been followed when they have designed the building. And Jason, you asked about the burn restrictions with our conversations earlier. Burn restrictions went into place at the beginning of August, and recently this year, the fire chief has been delegated by the county commissioners to set those restrictions in place and to rescind them when it's appropriate. And the burn restrictions, It's basically that we don't want to, the reason why we have them in place is there's a hazard there that it's hot and dry, and the fuels, the grass and other fuels out there are drying out and are readily available. And then the risk of the majority of fires are human caused, whether by various means. And so the restrictions are in place as a way to ensure that we're trying to lower that risk and warn people of certain activities that they shouldn't be doing.
Okay. Yeah, because it was real wet at the beginning of the summer this year. So I imagine that made the grass grow a lot. And now that it's drying out, that's kind of why we're at such a high risk right now, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. We really like it when it rains. It helps keep the grass and everything green and the vegetation. However, when it starts to dry out, then that's just more vegetation that can burn. And so with the hot weather in August coming through, we decided to put those burn restrictions in place. Historically, talking with the other fire department personnel, it sounds like the burn restrictions are fairly common around here, but they usually take place earlier in the summer. So this year we're fortunate that we were able to still have firework display and people were still able to enjoy those, and we didn't have to put the restrictions in place until August.
So to go along with the burn restriction then, what are people actually prohibited from doing, or what does the burn restriction entail?
Yeah, so the burn, first off, people are welcome to go to ccfire.us or to the county's main website page, and the burn restriction documents at the bottom of their page. It's very visible. But there is a list of a few things on here for the stage 1 fire restrictions.
Okay.
The big one is we're just trying to prevent any open fires during the day between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. just to ensure that it lowers that risk of catching anything on fire. Also, some other things, fireworks, those are mainly limited to the 2 weeks around, leading up to the 4th of July and then the 4th of July. We don't want fireworks being used outside of that, depending on if the county commissioners approve it for the beginning of the year, for New Year's. That's another opportunity for that.
Sure.
Additionally, any of the industrial operations going on out there, we just ask that people just be cautious and you try and separate between the sparks or the flames that you may have. We're looking for 10 feet or more. Just asking people to slow down and think about it before they do those operations, just to be a little bit more careful.
Oh, sure. Like when they're welding or grinding or
Yes.
that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that go on and a lot of work that happens around the county. And last thing we want to do is have anything bad happen. So.
And was there anything else you wanted to talk about this month?
This month, I just wanted to come on and introduce myself and share a little bit about the fire department, what the Fire Prevention Bureau does, and share a little message about the burn restrictions and clarify that, and just let people know that as the weather gets to be a little bit cooler and a little bit wetter, then those restrictions will be lifted. And this is something that the fire department looks forward to joining in on the conversation and sharing messages each month moving forward. And so we'll have a message for you next month.
All right, perfect. Thank you.